Okay, so I want to do a quick video about the increase in crime in the UK in general. All crime has been reported as recently as last month, October, as having gone up 26% overall. Now, obviously, there are always going to be areas that are hotspots for crime. Primarily, these are going to be the city centres, places like London, Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool, Bristol, of course. But for all crime in the UK to have gone up entirely 26%, that is horrifying. And there is a hidden cost to all of this crime, and this is what they don't tell you. So basically, crime isn't just a headline, it isn't just arrests, it's economic drag, it's social trust being eroded, it's faith in the police and the government and the rules that we've got to lock up criminals and to keep them behind bars for the actual length of their sentences. All of this dissipates like smoke in the wind. Basically, you've also got businesses that are unable to run, perhaps due to theft, due to burglary, due to vandalism, due to being now caught in undesirable areas where footfall just doesn't want to go. So there is a real cost to this. It results in business drying up in the high street, millions and millions in unseen losses, both to businesses, but also to councils that are looking for revenue from businesses that rent those premises. So I want to go a little bit deeper. Over the past year, some of the categories of crime have risen massively. Things like knife crime, things like person on person crime, things like vehicle crime. Fraud, for example, is up 31% just in the last 12 months. Shoplifting is at record levels. In fact, in London, it's up 106% in 12 months. And the result is less obvious. Your town, your high street, your peace of mind, all of these things are at risk. So in the year ending March 2025, there were 9.4 million incidents of headline crime in England and Wales alone. And that was basically a 12% increase year on year. Now, that number since March is purported to be around 26% right now, which means it's only going to be worse by March next year. A report from the think tank Policy Exchange has basically estimated the cost of crime to the UK economy could be in excess of 250 billion a year. So that's about 10% of our alleged GDP. And that's because of direct and indirect costs associated with crime. So it's not just rising shoplifting and theft from person, although these are at the highest levels now since recording has begun. But more importantly, we have elevated costs. High streets are basically closing down. Investment is pulling back, from areas where people feel unsafe because they know there's no money being spent there. And that's just the drip feed effect. When crime isn't just about a theft or about a mugging, but about the entire economy and the social fabric that we're all sitting in, the question becomes more, if we don't fix the root causes, what kind of Britain are we going to be handing on to our kids? A society's strength, basically, it's not measured by its GDP, but it's basically measured by whether people feel safe in their own homes, on their own streets, and what they feel about their children's future. That's how you measure the strength of a society. It's the cohesion and the family, the local shops, the local pub, social interactions. These are all the glue that hold that together. So as Britain's crime rises, the rest of this disappears, and we're in very real danger of, I guess, handing on to our kids a Britain that none of us are going to recognise probably in a decade's time. What are your thoughts on this? Is this a Britain that we recognise now, or is it just one that we're gradually learning to tolerate and accept as being the new normal? Because I think that's a more scary proposition. But look, interested to find out your views. Drop it in the comments, let me know. YouTube is going to put another video there. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz. Another video tomorrow. Goldman, peace out.